Friends, please subscribe my channel Learn and Study. In this channel you can see B.ed notes, assignments, activities and question papers and TET syllabus and previous year question papers. Thank you. Friends, today in this video you will see the B.ed first year Sem 1 ICT activity 3. Observe and analyze classroom interaction and report the dynamics of classroom. Interaction analysis is a tool used in the classroom to capture quantitative and qualitative aspects of verbal instructor behavior. It captures the verbal behavior of the teachers and students as an observational device that is directly linked to the socio-economical environment of the classroom. The aim is to promote the implementation of Flanders interaction analysis in the education process in schools as the quantitative and as the quality and consistency of teacher student interaction is a vital element of effective teaching and improved learning in the classroom. Concept of classroom interaction. Learning is an engaging process between the professor and the instructed person. It can be regarded as a kind of communication. A teacher must communicate new ideas, attitudes, knowledge, competencies, and student through interaction. Student can also be actively involved in the teaching and learning process. Thus, in a classroom, the teacher and the student in a interaction are known as contact in classroom. Types of classroom interaction: verbal and non-verbal. In a verbal context refers to the sent or received or oral communication. It means transmitting messages, knowledge, orders through the spoken words. It calls for language skills. For such an interaction, there must be a shared language. It takes place in discussions, seminars, interviews, debates, narratives, etc. Whereas in nonverbal classroom interaction, it discloses as a comportment that transmits important without words. It can also take place through self-sensory method, symbolic and non-symbolic, spontaneous or managed expressions, eye contact, posture of the body, gestures, contact, conversations, silence, and human environment. The concept of interaction analysis in the classroom communication in the school environment is a key element in the teaching and learning process. It is an important for healthy growth as food is a prerequisite. A crucial component of effective classroom teaching is the quality and quantity of the teacher student interaction. The word interaction means an action reaction or a shared or reciprocal effect that may be between individuals. Example: people and teacher people in a classroom environment or between the materials and individuals or groups. This conduct can be verbal or non-verbal and can be delivered as a mainly cognitive, affective, or fundamental controlling. Interaction analysis is a systematic observation that represents a valuable means to define, research, classify, or quantify relevant variables as a teacher and his or her student interact in the sense of learning situations. Here you can see the diagram where the teacher and knowledge and learners can interaction analysis. Now we will see the characteristics of interaction analysis. The interaction analysis may be helpful for creation of the following teaching actions as an observation device. It is important to enhance the verbal contact between classroom and the needs. The instructor in this teaching will improve students' involvement. The instructor will turn his direct actions into indirect contact. The innovative behavior, understanding, and exercise of interaction modes can be established. Classroom interaction analysis. Interaction analysis is a specialized research process that provides only some of the various aspects of education. It is an analysis of spontaneous teaching, school communication, and it is worthless if no one talks or the teacher is talking continuously or if the student reads from a book. Interaction analysis is the classroom refers to a technique of objective and systematic study of the teacher's behavior in a school as well as the process of interaction in the classroom. It helps a teacher change his behavior to make his teachings more purposeful and effective and enhance his interaction with students. The process of encoding and decoding is essential as an interaction analysis system. By coding, the classroom events are registered in a meaningful way. During decoding, the data is arranged in a useful display and analyzed for study purpose. Teacher behavior patterns and interaction between classroom and the teacher analysis. Therefore, works as a standardized monitoring tool and analytical technique for identifying teacher behavior patterns and analyzing teacher student communication in the classroom. Some of the famous definitions of the interaction analysis in the classroom are the following. According to the Thakur view, classroom interaction analysis may be defined as an instrument which is designed to record categories of verbal interactions during or form recorded teaching learning sections. It is a technique for capturing qualitative and quantitative dimensions of the teacher's verbal behavior in the classroom. According to the Sharma's views, interaction analysis is specialized research procedure that produce information about only a few of many aspects of teaching. It is an analysis of spontaneous communication between the teacher and the pupil. Interaction analysis applies only in the content-free characteristics of verbal communication. The entire process of interaction analysis becomes a measure of teacher influence because it makes assumptions that most teachers' influence is expressed through verbal statements and most nonverbal influences is positively correlated with verbal. Flanders interaction analysis techniques. In the classroom, the teaching learning scenario includes interaction between the teacher and the student. A teacher performance can be measured by the degree of efficiency of the teaching, which can be objectively defined by his actions or engagement in the classroom. A systematic or objective study of the teacher interaction in the classroom may also provides an accurate evaluation of what happens inside the classroom in terms of teaching and learning. Teaching can be seen as an interaction mechanism between the pupil and the teachers. For many decades, educational scientists have been working on the issue of formal classification of teacher behavior. Two systems have been used: science system and category system. In the science system, a system of science requires a list of conduct that observes, actually checks or observes the activity that takes place within a given time period. In the observer era, the activity is marked only one. Florida Science Scheme of Cognitive Taxonomy. The component consists 55 objects grouped together in 7 groups according to the Bloom in 1956. They are knowledge, translation, interpretation, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Device category. A systematic of category consists of a category of collection. A unit of conduct is categorized. An observation simply encodes classroom events which takes place within the 3 seconds. For example, the 10 categories interaction analysis structure of Flinders is comprised of 3 major behavior components: lecture by the instructor, pupil interaction, and none or the two. The system of category has the types. The reciprocal category system. In this method, there are 19 divisions. The 9 categories refers equally to the teacher or student, and the 10th category is silence or misunderstanding. The equivalent talks category. The categories of the system emphasize the form and the degree of intellectual exchange among the teacher and the student, which helps us to recognize the opportunities available to the students to think and engage in the classroom. In a classroom between the teacher and the student, it is possible to observe and calculate the cognitive interaction. Development of interaction analysis observation system. The study of Flanders behavior especially concern verbal components. This can be seen with highly reliability as a teacher. Non-verbal conduct is an acceptable indication of his teacher's full statements in conjunction with his non-verbality. It is difficult to test this theory easily because development of consistent and non-verbal behavior would take too long. A teacher's skills can be measured by the efficiency of the degree that can be learned by the teaching or by interaction. Therefore, systematic or comprehensive study of teaching experience in the classroom may provide credible measures of teaching and learning in the classroom. The word interaction and the analysis is used to analyze this form of classroom activity and interaction. Therefore, the term interaction analysis refers to a method consisting of objective and systematic evaluation of the activities in the classroom in order to analyze the actions of the teacher and the communication process within the classroom. It helps the teacher change his actions and improves his interaction with his students to make teaching more productive and successful. Categories of Flanders interaction analysis category system. In this method, there are 10 divisions of this 7 teachers and 2 students are assigned to chat. The last group is for delays, the brief silence and the noisy or loud talking. The following are the 10 categories. Accept feelings. This category involves the interruption or advancement of ideas presented by the students when the instruction puts his ideas into practice. He passes into the fire group. Praises. The instructor honor the actions or behavior of the student in this group, smiling, joking, nodding, or bone. Yes, nice, and fine. Go on with what you are saying. This category includes tells us more about ideas. Use students' ideas. Clarification or the development of ideas are presented by the students is included in the group. As an instructor plays with more ideas, he turns to store. Asking questions. In this category, an instructor asks questions about content or procedure in order to for a student to respond. Lecturing. In this group, an instructor discusses the facts or opinions about to make material or process. He shares his own ideas and opinions, questions, and about politics, etc. Giving directions. In this time, the teacher offers guidance, direction, or directives for students to obey. Criticizing. The last category involves breaks, brief silence, and interval or uncertainty in which the listener is unable to understand the content. Student talk response. Student talk to the teacher is included in this group. The instructor initiates or demands a response from the student or organizes the situation. There is a minimal freedom to share your ideas. Student talk initiation. In this final category are delays, brief silence, and misunderstanding times in which the observer cannot understand the communication. Silence. This last category includes delays, brief period of silence, and period of uncertainty in which the observer cannot understand communication. Reviewing the Flanders interaction analysis category as a simplified example of a teaching learning process interaction study in a classroom was discussed. Now we will see the example. In the category 1, accepting feelings, teacher, why are you sad, Ray? Ravi, sir, I lost my pocket money. Teacher, well, that is enough to make one sad, but cheer up, a replacement will come up. Category 2, praises or encourage. How many states are in India? Sham, 28 states, sir. Teacher, very good. Category 3, accept ideas. Sir, I think a major reason for massive failure among students is ill preparedness of students towards assignments. Naveen, I will take to say that the lack of preparation is a result of poor reading habit among students. Teacher, well said. Understanding the concept while preparing makes unforgettable. Category 4, asking questions. What is the difference between the dramatization and simulation methods of teaching? Category 5, lecture. Social studies education is centered around the design to propose solutions to preserve and anticipated problems that arises from man interaction with the environment. It is a school discipline. Category 6, giving directions. Rita, I want you to tell me I want you to tell me after 10th what is your ambition, in which stream you are choosing. Category 7, criticizing or justice authority. Or what do you think you are doing out of your seat, Renu? Category 8, people talk response. Do you understand? Student, yes, in chorus. Category 9, people talk initiation. Teacher had just taught an air pollution. A student not asked for his opinion but stood up to give her experience of inhaling a smoke emitted from his running generator and that make her sneezed and cough for a while to explain effect of air pollution. Category 10, silence or confusion. Teacher, bring out your English textbook and open to the page 20. Student, period of silence and confusion of the students try to find the page. Findings: the totality of the classroom activities is not defined by the method. Some acts are still ignored, and that is to say that the unrecorded elements of the teaching act are more relevant than those registered. The interaction analysis framework is content free. In particular, it concerns the social skills of management of the classroom as demonstrated by verbal communication. It is expensive and tedious and requires some form of automation to collect and analyze raw information. It is not a research instrument that has been completed. Most of the infusional power of this interaction analysis method comes from the tabulating of information in a 10 into 10 matrix as a series of pairs. This is a process that consumes time. Once the high cost of tedious tabulation is under control, the issue of training and maintaining the reliability of qualified observing will still remain. It is capacity as a research method is to be explored for the board application to problems. Suggestions: an observer who is familiar with entire process and knows its limitations should do the classroom encoding work. It is an exploratory system, so that it is important to avoid values judgment about good and poor teaching behaviors. This method is not a classroom teaching assessment system. Only by examining the matrix table can questions about classroom teaching the answer. The observer cannot answer the questions concerning the behavior of the teacher. Reliability terms of activity ratios, interaction variables, and percentage of frequencies in each group and calls for a frequency may be contrast between the two matrices, but values judgment is not feasible. The accuracy of the result depending on the observer reliability. After estimating the reliability of the observer, the classroom record should be done. The classroom activity must be coded by at least two observers to evaluate teaching and teaching behavior. Conclusion: it has been found that it is a transformation about which our education system is learning. Interaction analysis has a lot to give. A system for evaluating verbal activity in the classroom. It provides a tool for students. Prospective teachers and managers provide comprehensive information on teaching actions relevant to the educational enhancement. On the other side, laying a good basis in education provided to your children in schools for science, critical, and reflective thought. In our current education system, an unsatisfactory state of affair is type of behavior teachers display inside the classroom that has a direct impact on the behavior of the people. However, in a live class lessons, there is a research need to build testing for the hypothetical sample in the analysis in order to evaluate the congruence between the theoretical and practical content of Flanders interaction analysis category as a true tool for the establishment of interpersonal relations. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe my channel for more videos.